بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Inshallah, today we'll be carrying on where we left off, and what's interesting to note, as we mentioned, we've taken most of what needs to be covered, what a person needs in order to read in the Arabic language. We've taken roughly 80 to 90% of it, and now there's only a few more rules left. Inshallah, we'll be going over these few rules bi'idhnillah. Before we start, as our normal, we'll just go over a little bit of revision, and then we'll go over the new lesson today, inshallah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ba, 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 sa, sa, sab, sab, sab'a, aj, ajru, ya, yad, yad'u, arsha, nasru, fadlu, batsha.
Ahsan, Brother Dawood, I'm sure that's page 34 in your book. Let me take your mic off mute. Right, bismillah.
34, yes. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ba, ab. Ba,
Sukun.
no. Ba, ba'a.
Ba.
Ba.
Ahsan.
Ba, badu.
Ba'du.
Ba'du.
Ahsan.
Ma,
If you
mak.
could put your mic a little bit closer, or a little bit
Ma.
louder one.
Ma,
Well done.
good. Ma,
Yeah.
mak.
Well,
Makru.
ahsant.
Call.
Well done.
Fa, fal.
On the qal, and then at the end, what is it?
Qalbi.
Well done. Qalb is from the heart, is a heart. Qalb.
Qalbi. And what about makruh? Does that mean disliked?
Makruh is disliked. Makruh.
That's the one?
No, the one on the top is there's a difference between makruh with makruh. The one you're talking about disliked has a waaw and then a ha at the end, so it's makruh. This one is makruh. So makruh is a plot.
Okay. What did I do? Am.
Well done.
Amru.
Well done. Ahsant, mashallah.
Kun. Kunta.
Well done.
Akhlu.
Mashallah. Excellent.
Yaw. I'm sorry.
Yes, mashallah.
Yep. Yaw. Okay, yaw.
Yeah.
Then we have yama.
Same. So if you notice on the right side, it's giving you the first half of the word, and here then it's giving you the first half and the second half. So here, the first half you said yaw. So here in the second half,
Yawma.
Yawma. Ahsan.
Yawma. Ghai.
Yes.
Ghafay.
Ghai, and then let's go to the last letter. Alone, what is it?
Yeah?
No, let's
No,
one
ta.
dot.
Ta.
One. Sorry. The last letter is
Last letter is with the two.
one dot
Wow.
at the bottom. One
No,
dot
yeah.
at the bottom. No, one dot. Ya is two dots. Ya is a trolley with two wheels.
Oh, that's boo.
Boo.
But I'm still
the whole
stuck on the
word?
first one.
Oh, ghay. Yeah, ghay.
Ghay. Ghaybu.
Yeah.
Ghaybu.
Ahsan. Ahsan. MashaAllah. Well done. The next exercises for revision, we will do them in the next lessons, inshallah. I just want to quickly recap what we've been taking this week. Anybody remember not yesterday's lesson, day before yesterday, Khaybar, or before that, in fact, day before.
شدة مع التنوين شدة والتنوين.
Just after that.
After that.
Hamza.
Hamza al-Qatr.
Oh yeah. 2 types of Hamza.
Yeah. Give us a small or brief summary of this lesson. Hamzatul Qata and Hamzatul Wasl.
My internet is lagging.
Okay, no problem. We asked Brother Dawood. MashaAllah, Brother Dawood, you gave us the last time. You can give us this time again, inshallah.
Okay, this time Hamza to Wasl.
No, both of them. Hamzatul Qata and
both
Wasl.
Of them? Okay, both of them. Okay, all right. Okay, let me see. Hamza to Qatr. Qatr is to cut.
Qata, with an ayn at the end, not a ra. Ayn. Qata. Qata.
Qata. Qata.
Yeah, close. Qata.
Okay. Qata. Qata. Always pronounced wa. Wa. That's the correlation, the relation between the alif and the hamza. And there's 2 differences in the pronunciation. There's one that's in front, and you always read that one. And the one on the bottom, oh, wait a minute. The one in the second, sometimes you do and sometimes you don't read that one.
Okay, let's make a tree diagram to make it simpler, inshallah. So can you guys see my book?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So let's start. This is Hamza. Right, Hamza. Written Hamza. Divided into 2. We have Qata', so that's a Qa, and a Ta, and an Ain. Can you guys see?
Yeah, yes.
And you have Wasl. Hamzatul Qata', we said that it's written with a line, it's an Alif as well as a Hamza. And Wasl, we said that it's just a line. Right. Then we said that when it comes to pronunciation, if these 2, both of them, it's either they're going to come at the beginning. My thing is a little bit small here, but let me come here. At the beginning of the sentence, we read them both regardless. So it's the first word. So if they come, let me join here. So this is where they agree. So if it is the first word, sorry, the first letter in the word. Excuse my scribbles, but the first letter, right? Always read them both. always read. So example, in the exercise you can see aslama is in the first hamzatul qata'. Got your alif, your line, and it got a hamza, and we read it aslama. Even on the next page, ibnu, it doesn't have a hamza, it's hamzatul wasl. It doesn't have this small s sign, but because it's in the front, we always read it. So we agree there.
Yes.
Right? If it is the second letter, so now this is where they differ. This is where they differ. Right? If it is the second letter, so 2nd, 2nd, qata', we still pronounce. So we say here pronounce. Pronounce. Right? And wasl, we do not pronounce. Rather, we skip it. So here, aslama wa aslama. Right?
Right.
And here, ibnu wabnu. Another way you want to remember it, you see this small little hamza on the top?
Yeah.
This one here, let's make it another color, blue. You see this hamza here? Can you see that one? Right. Another way you can remember it, this is just for your own way of remembering. This letter, you can imagine that small little thing is like a crown on the head. A crown always signifies importance. And we'll say the fact that it's important means we never ever skip it. So Hamzatul Wasl, the one with the crown, will always be recited, whether it comes first or second. As for Hamzatul Wasl, at the beginning, we'll always mention it. However, if it comes in the middle, it doesn't have a crown on, so we will skip it. Is that a better way of remembering it?
Yes.
Ahsant. So there's a few different ways you can look at it. Either you look at it looking at first letter and second letter, or you say that Hamzatul Wasl and Hamzatul Qata' can come, there's 4 ways it can come. When it comes to pronunciation, either you pronounce or you don't pronounce. Pronouncing on 3 occasions. If it's at the beginning, Hamzatul Qata', at the beginning, Hamzatul Wasl, and so both of them. And Hamzatul Qata', even if it comes second, you still pronounce it. That's 3. And as for skipping, then Hamzatul Wasl if it comes second. So that's a quick recap again today, and inshallah we'll do it again tomorrow. Hopefully it sticks. Then we went on to Al-Madd al-Tabi'i yesterday.
Yes.
And we said that there's a relationship between Alif and Fatha, the Ya and Kasra, and Waaw and Dhamma. So if you pull you make an sound. So your Alif is in that sound. Ya is in that sound. Waaw is in that sound. We said that if you get an Alif before it is a Fatha, then you pull the previous letter just a little bit. So instead of taba here, you say taba, khafa, rana. So when it comes to Waaw, if before it on the letter is a dhamma, then you'll pull it a little bit. So you won't say a'udhu, you'll say a'udhu. Notice how you're pulling a'udhu. Rasulun, suratun. And ya, if the letter before it has a kasra, then we'll pull it a little bit. So not khabirun, we'll say khabirun. That lesson was quite clear, I think. Any questions with regards to what we've taken so far?
No, Sheikh.
Brother Dawood? Yeah.
Not sure.
Not sure, no question. You didn't understand, you want us to explain it again?
I'm not sure about these. I'm starting to get like over my head, I feel, with these.
Okay, so If you had to read them, are you able to read them or no?
Only because I wrote the pronunciation in my book.
Okay. So the previous lesson, when it comes to Hamza, did you understand it?
I did understand it. This one is, it seems easy as far as pulling it, but I have to know, it's like here the letter is red. I have to learn how to recognize it so that I can pull it when I see it in a word.
Okay, so let's write some words for you here on the top. Let's see. We need to practice. Right, so I'm going to write for you here. Okay. This is a qaf. Qaf with an alif. How do you pronounce it?
Ka.
Qa.
Ka.
Qa. Qa. Right. And then we put a sorry, qaf with a fatha is qa. And then we put an alif here. How do you pronounce that?
We put a fatha?
No, we've just put an alif here.
Alif. Then you qa.
Yeah, you pull it a little bit.
You pull it a little bit, yeah.
And then you've got a lam with a fatha. How would you read that?
Qala. Qala.
Qala. You're pulling it.
Qala.
Well done.
Yeah.
You must pull it. Okay, then here you've got a ba. Ba with a fatha. How do you pronounce that?
Ba.
Ba. After that, you've got an alif. How do you pronounce that?
Ba.
Ba. Well done.
With a medium pronunciation.
Yeah.
Not a long one, but.
Then you've got a ta with a fatha. How do you pronounce the whole word?
Bata.
Well
Bata.
done. So if you notice that this alif, the fact that an alif came before it has to be fatha. You can never have bu. If you have a bu here, there's no way you can pronounce it buata. You just can't. Buata. Yeah. So it's always bata. Another word we can say is here's a sin. A sin with a fatha alone. How do you pronounce it?
Sa.
Sa. And then you've got an alif. How do you pronounce it?
Sa.
Sa. Sa. And then you've got a lam with a fatha. How do you pronounce the whole word?
Sala.
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 Ahsan. So this is the first part of the exercise. The first third is to do with pulling the fatha. When do you pull the fatha? If after it is an alif. Next one is to do with dhamma. When do you pull the dhamma? If after it is a waaw. So
when you have a waaw, yeah.
Yeah, so let's say here you have, let me think of a word. A ra with a fatha, you say ra, correct?
Ra, yes.
Sin with a dhamma, how do you pronounce sin with a dhamma on its own?
Su.
Su, right?
Su.
And then it has a waaw here after it. Now what do you say?
Su.
Well done. And then let's put another, and now we put a lam with a dhamma. How do you pronounce the whole word?
Rasul. Rasul.
Rasulu.
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 Ahsant. Here is a noon with a dhamma. How do you pronounce it alone?
No.
No. And then you've got a waaw after it.
No.
Well done. And then you've got a ha. A ha with two kasras.
Oh my.
Hin.
Nuhin.
Nuhin. Nuhin. That's Noah. Nuhin. So can you see maybe the learning it as a rule, etc., is a bit complicated, but when you're reading it, mashallah, you'll always get it, inshallah. Because nu, and then the minute you see a waaw, you'll just pull it. Nuhin. Kasra, we said, is related to a ya. So we'll say, for example, sin with a fatha, sa, right? And then ba Ba with a kasra alone, how do you pronounce it?
Ba with a kasra. B.
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 And then after it is a ya. Now how do you pronounce that B? You say
B.
B. Sabi lin.
Sabi. Sabi.
Lin.
Sabilu. Oh.
Yeah.
Sabilin.
Yeah. Another one.
Sabilin.
A sin with a fatha. How do you pronounce that alone?
Sin.
With a fatha.
Sa.
Sa. And then mim with a kasra. How do you pronounce it?
Me.
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 And then after it there's a ya. So how would you pronounce your mim with a kasra now?
Sami.
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 And then ayn with two kasras. Sami'in.
Sami'in.
So can you see? It's just with practice, and inshallah you'll get it as long as you have the concept.
Okay.
And we'll carry on going over it. Don't worry. In the same way, mashallah, you've progressed from the beginning, you progress now. Right. Getting on to the new module. Before getting on to this new module, again, we have to recap the lesson of Hamzatul Qata' and Hamzatul Wasl. We said Hamzatul Qata' and Hamzatul Wasl will be the first. It will either come first, it will be the first letter, or it will be the second letter, correct?
Yes.
Right? Sorry, that's my making noise. Right. So we said it's either the first or the second. Also Hamzatul Wasl, we said either it's the first or the second, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So we said here, that's number 1, and that's number 2. It's number 1, and that's number 2. Now they're telling us there's another alif that comes. It's an alif only, it's not a hamza. بعد واو الجماعة. What's واو الجماعة? So in Arabic, as you know, that there's singular, dual, and plural, right? So 1 man, 2 men, 3 men. Men is plural, correct?
Yes.
Right. When you want to show plural for a verb, right? And it's masculine, you will put an alif at the end. This alif is just written. And so notice how the previous lessons we took on Hamza, we're talking about at the beginning of the letter. Here now we're talking about at the end of the word, right? It's the last letter. So this alif will be put there to show you that the word is plural. However, it's not pronounced, so you don't have to pull it. So for example, if you look here in this exercise, we've got alif here at the beginning with a crown, so we must pronounce it. U, and then mi, umi, and then ra with a dhamma, ru, and then we've got a wow, so we pull this ra. So instead of ru, we say ru, umi ru. After this wow, you've got an alif. This alif is just written there, but it's silent in terms of pronunciation. It's just to show that this verb is talking about plural. So they were ordered to, that's the meaning. Instead of he was ordered, he as one person. So you would read this as umiru, exactly as the previous lesson. This, they're just showing you this. This is to signify plural. Again here, ta, and then wa with an alif, wa alone. And then, wa with a fatha is wa alone. And you've got an alif after that, which means pull your waw. Tawa, sad, tawasa. And then you've got a waw with a sukun. Tawasaw. And this alif at the end is just to signify plural. Tawasaw. Khaybar, please read.
U, mi, umi, ru, ru, umiru, ta, wa, tawa, fa, faw, tawa, saw.
Ahsant. Can you see how you're not pronouncing that alif at the end? Because it's just there to signify plural. So basically, exactly how we've been reading. Exactly how we've been reading. Nothing changes. It's just they're telling you another set of words is you might find something with an alif at the end. Don't worry, don't pronounce it. We're just trying to tell you that it's plural. Brother Dawood, give it a try, please.
Okay. Ooh. Umi. Umiru. Umiru.
Ahsan. So can you see how you have to pull your ra exactly how you've recited it? Why? Because there's a wow after this dhamma.
Yes.
Umiru.
It has nothing to do with the alif. It has all
Nothing
to
to
do
do
with
with
that wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Then ta. Tawa. Now, I pull the wa because of the alif there in the
Yes.
middle.
Yes.
Tawa, tawa, saw. Tawa, saw.
Right. Now join your sa with a wow that has a sukun at the just second last letter.
Tawa, saw.
So, ahsant. Well done.
Saw.
MashaAllah. Sometimes learning it as rules is much more complicated than just reading it. Next one. Ja alone. Then it's got an alif. Ja. Bu. And then it got a wow. Bu. Jabu. The. Qu. And then a wow. Qu. Dhaqu. Khaybar.
Ja, ja, bu, bu, jabu, the, ku, and you got a wow, ku, the ku.
Ahsan, Brother Dawood.
Okay, first you have ja, and it has an alif with nothing. So ja. Then you have a boo with the wow. So jabu. You pull both
Well
of
done.
them. Jabu.
Well done, mashallah.
You have tha, and the tha has an alif, so you don't have to pronounce that one. Tha. Then you have ku with a wow, so you pull that one. Tha ku.
Dhaqu. Ahsant. Well done,
Tha
mashallah.
ku. And the
Excellent.
alif, you ignore it. It's just for
Yes.
plural.
Yes. Next one. Ra. And then alone is du. And then you got a wow. So radu. Za. Za. Ghu. Zaghu. Khaybar.
Ra, du, then you go out, du, radu, za, ru, zaru.
Ahsant. Brother Dawood.
Okay, ra with a fatha.
Ra has a fatha, yes. And the next
Yeah.
one.
Ra. Then you have dod with dama, and then it has a ya. So you go radu,
No, not the ya.
radu.
It has. You meant to say it has a wow.
Oh, wow, sorry. Wow. But that signifies pulling. Radu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Radu. So the ra,
Radu.
we're not pulling it because there's no alif after it. So we won't say radu. We'll say radu.
Okay. Then we have tha with
Za,
dama,
huh?
fatha, tha,
Yeah.
and it's got the alif that shows that it gets pulled, and then you've got ta'u, ta'u,
It's za, huh? With a Z.
da,
Zai with a Z.
sai, sa,
Za, ru.
ta'u.
Zaru.
Is that a ghain right there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So the whole word just one more time. Zaru.
Zaru,
Ahsant. Next,
zaru.
fa. We've got no alif, so we won't pull it. It remains fa. And then ta, no alif after, so it remains ta. Fata. Noon with a dhamma. Nu. Fata nu. Then after that, we've got a wow. So we'll pull our noon. Fatanu. Qu. And then got a wow. Qu. Khaybar. Khaybar, if you're not with us, Brother Dawood.
Oh. Okay, first one. There's fa with a fatha, fa. Then ta with the fatha, so fata.
Yes.
And then you have a noon with a wow after it, so you know that you pull that one. So you say fatanu.
Ahsant.
Fatanu.
MashaAllah. Brother Dawood, now I think you can teach others, MashaAllah. Excellent. Next one.
Okay, and then we have qaf with dama, so it's khu.
Yes.
And it's got a wow, so you extend the khu.
Ahsant. Well done. Next, that's a kaf, ku, and joint with a lam, lu, kulu, and then a wow, kulu. So you pull the lam. Ma, and then you got a ra with a shadda, so you join mar, and then the shadda has a dhamma on the top, so we say marru, and after that it's got a wow, so we pull it marru. Brother Dawood.
Okay, we have a kaf with dama, ku, a lam, so it's kulu, and it's got a wow, so we pull the lu. Kulu.
Okay, so why are you pulling the kaf? After the kaf, is there wow?
No. Kulu. Kulu.
Kulu.
Kulu.
Ahsan. Well done. Next one.
Then we have a ma with a meme with fatah, so it's ma. And then, like you said, we have the little that's shadda
Yeah.
with
So
dama.
Yeah.
So, and then we have the ya. So
We have a wow. Wow.
Oh, sorry. Wow, I keep getting them mixed up today. Maru. Maru.
Okay, so join your meme onto the ra because it's shadda.
Mar. Maru.
Marru.
Maru. Yes. Maru.
Say mar.
Mar. Mar.
Ru.
Ru.
Marru.
Maru.
Okay, so I'm going to write this in English for you here at the bottom. So M-A, how would you say that? Ma, right?
Ma.
And then R-double-O. That's maru, correct?
Yes.
Now we want a ra here also.
Okay.
So on the first part, it has its own ra, and the second has its own ra. So we'll say marru. Marru. Try.
Maru. Maru.
Okay, a little bit faster if you can do it.
Maru. Maru.
Marru. Ahsant.
Maru.
Ahsant. Last line. Nu. And then hu. Nuhu. And then a wow. Nuhu. Yeah. And then when you see a letter that's got a shadda and a fatha and it's got 10 things on, start from the bottom going up. So this is ya, and then you've got a ta, and this ta has a shadda. So join it with the letter before yet, right? How do we pronounce the ta? Ta has a fatha. So we'll say yatta. Kha with a kasra. Yattakhidhu. Yattakhidhu. And then it has a wow. So pull this dhal. Yattakhidhu. Try, Brother Dawood.
Okay. We have noon with dama, nu. Then we have ha with dama. So hu, nuhu. Now,
No. Yeah.
I'm explaining. The ha with the dama is followed by the ya. I'm sorry, the wow, which indicates that I pull the second vowel.
Yes.
Nuhu, nuhu,
Well done.
nuhu.
Next.
Okay, I have ya with a dama. I'm sorry, fata.
Yes.
And so that's ya. Then I have a ta with the shadda. This shows that
Shadda.
it's connected. So
Yes.
I put it together, yata, yata,
Yatta.
yatta. And then I have a ka with kasra, yataki, yataki. And then I have a tha with dama. And I have the wow, which indicates I pull it. Yata, yatakithu.
Yattakhidhu. Ahsan.
Yatakithu.
MashaAllah. It's one of the longer words. And you see how short this lesson is? They're just trying to tell you that when you get this alif at the end, don't worry, don't pull it, because this is called alif ba'd al-waw. Can you see how this alif is all the examples? It's coming after the waw.
It's called
So
alif what?
the alif after the waw, which signifies plural. Ba'da waw al-jama'ah. So notice how all these alifs, they before it,
Yeah.
they all have waw.
Yeah. And some have sukoon and
Yeah.
some are pulled.
Yeah. So yeah, you're pulling them all, and generally they all have a sukun. Nuhu yattakhidhu, like that. And that's our lesson for today. A short lesson. Yeah.
I have a
You've got a
question.
question? Yeah.
I'm not sure any of the verbs in English are plural. So plural verbs is a kind of a new concept for me.
Okay. Now in Arabic you've got them. So example, can you see the first let's look at this first word, right?
Yes.
Umiru. Can you see it?
Umiru, yes.
Right.
Umiru.
So here without this waw and alif, if you just say amara ya'muru, umira, sorry, just excuse the fatha and dhamma here, but if you say umira, this basically the first three letters, you're talking about one person. He was ordered. And then
Okay.
if you want to say two, you say umira. You put an alif here. And this is all in grammar. And then you want to make it plural, they, more than two, umiru. So
Okay.
this waw and alif signifies plural here.
All right.
Alif ba'd waw al-jama'a. So the waw shows you it's plural. Yeah.
So the subject of the sentence would be the people you're talking about or the person you're talking about.
Here, if it's plural, the people. And if it's
people.
one, then the person.
Okay. So, all right.
Inshallah, all this will come when you're learning Arabic, when you're going through the grammar, etc. For now, we just want to be able to read. That's it.
Yeah, it actually looks a little simpler because there's a lot of conjugations to verbs in English. So this is similar.
Asant. Do we have time to write a word?
Sure. We are going to dal.
Ahsant.
Okay, dal. First dal has fatha, so it's da.
Da, huh? Don't pull
Da.
it too much.
Da. Second, in the next one down, I'm writing the fatha, and on top, da. Third one down, da. Now I'm writing the dal and putting the fatha, da.
Ahsant.
Second one is got a kasra, so it's D. D. And now I'm putting, second one's written, I'm putting the kasra, D. Third one, D. Now I'm making my letter, D. Now we have dama, so we have do. Do.
Sound.
Do. Now I'm drawing my letter and putting the Dhamma. Do.
Sound.
Now we have sukoon. So I put an alif in front of it and I say id. Id.
Ad. Yeah, you can say id. If your alif has a kasra, it's id.
No,
If
ad.
it has a fatha, it's
Ad.
ad.
Id.
Yeah, any.
Ad.
Yeah.
Ad. Ad. I put another sukoon. Ad. Id. No, sorry. Ad. Ad. You're right.
Whatever one you
Normally
want. Just tell me.
alif is ah. Yeah.
Okay.
Ad. Ad.
Sound.
Now I'm drawing my dal and putting a sukoon. Ad. Ad. So now we have an ain with a kasra. So we have e. E. Then we have a ta with a sukoon.
Noon.
Id.
Noon with.
That's a noon. Noon with a sukoon.
Yeah.
So that is ain. Ain.
Ain. Well done.
Ain. And then it ends with our dhamma with a fatha.
Sorry, it
So
ends with
our dhamma. Sorry.
no.
Our
Dal.
dal with a fatha.
Yes.
So
Inda.
inda. Inda.
Sound.
Now I'm writing in my dhamma with a fatha. Inda. Inda. Well, inda.
Inda.
Writing it again. Inda.
Sound.
Writing in. Inda. Now, my dal comes in the beginning with a kasra. Then it has a ya.
So it means.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it means.
It says
So
yeah. D.
D. So you're pulling it. D.
D. And then we have a noon with the dhamma.
The noon with.
Sorry, noon with the kasra.
Sound.
So we have do.
All kasra. Okay, let's break them down again. Dal with a kasra. How do you pronounce it?
D.
Alone. D. And then it's got a ya. So the ya means that you're pulling it a little bit. So you say D.
D.
And then noon with a kasra is ni.
Dini. Dini.
Dini. Dini.
Dini.
And
Putting my first letter. Dini. Putting my first letter. Dini.
Dini.
Now I'm writing in Dini.
And
Okay. Now I have a ya with a fatha. So that's ya. Then I have my dal with dhamma. So I have.
you can pronounce them together one by one. So that's a ya with a fatha, then a dal with a dhamma. Then you've got an ayn with a shadda. So if you get confused, break them down. It's got a shadda as well as a dhamma. So you would say, first join it, yadu', and then u. Yeah, bismillah.
Bismillah. Let's back up here. All right. So I was on my one. So I have ya, yadu.
Yadu, right. Then you've got
yadu.
Ayn with
shadda.
Right. So that means that the dal is joined to the ayn. The letter before it is joined to the ayn. Correct?
Yes.
So how would you join it? Let's take it step by step. Even though there's a dhamma, we'll get to the dhamma just now. How do you join the dal and the ayn? Yeah.
Do.
Du.
Do.
And then the ayn itself has a dhamma.
Yes.
So how would you say it? U. Du.
Do. Do.
Yeah, and then the whole word yadu'u.
Yaduhu. Yaduhu.
Well done, yadu'u.
Okay, I'm putting it
Okay.
in now. Let me see what. Yaduhu.
Well done.
Yaduhu.
Yadu'u. Well done.
Yaduhu.
Well done.
Okay, now this one
Last one
looks
is easy.
pretty easy. I just have to remember that letter. It looks like a fa.
No, 2 dots.
Ka.
Qa.
Ka.
And
So
then
it's a ka with a fatha, and then I
right.
have my dal. My dal
Yes,
with a
yes.
sukoon.
Yes.
So I have
To
qad.
join. Qad. Well done.
Qad.
Well done.
So I'm drawing in my dal with a sukoon. Qad.
Well done.
Qad.
Qad. Well done.
Qad. Okay.
Ahsant. Excellent. MashaAllah. Inshallah.
Yes,
We'll
I'm
finish.
moving forward. I need to keep moving forward. Alhamdulillah.
All of us, inshallah. Inshallah, by Ramadan, we're hoping to finish in the reading book, at least by having to not only reading the sentences, but more than the sentence, qira'atun nas. And inshallah, we'll get there. Any questions with today's lessons, any of the lessons?
Yeah. So,
Yes.
so the alif that we learned, that doesn't do anything extra. It's just to indicate that it's a plural.
Yeah, just to indicate the plural. Alif ba'da waw al-jama'a. Umiru.
It has. Okay.
So I tell you, that's why it says in your book here, it tells you. Where's this gone? It says ألف تقع آخر الفعل بعد واو الجماعة مثل صلوا للدلالة على أن الواو للجماعة. It's only to show you that واو is for plural. It's just to show you that there's plural. So then it says تكتب ولا تقرأ في جميع الأحوال. You always write it when you're showing plural, but it's not pronounced. See. Any other things? Any question?
No, Sheikh.
None.
Before we go, I'll tell you something interesting that happened today, and it all comes to the importance of tathabbut. Tathabbut means verifying, finding out. Today in one of the groups, we were talking about something with regards to one of the companies, and one of the brothers had mentioned that I went there and they said that basically what had happened, a story in short. Before the pandemic, we had paid for a specific service, and then a lot of people had paid. And after that, nobody was able to use it because of the lockdown. So then the company, I went to them during this year, I went twice, thrice, and they said, don't worry, we're going to refund everybody by Ramadan. We'll refund them, or we'll give them the service in Ramadan. So the brother who must have went today, he went to get his refund or to try and get the service again, and maybe he understood wrong, and he basically told us that they said now that there's no refund, so they're not going to give your people a refund who've paid already, nor are they going to give you the service either. So neither are you going to get the service you paid for, nor are you going to get a refund. All the money you guys have paid is gone. So I thought that's quite strange, because if you look at it, there's a couple of thousand people who've paid, and they're paying about 800 riyals. So if you gather everybody who's paid, the figure is in the millions. And I thought that was quite strange, quite impossible, especially since I went there, I passed the same office and I asked them, and they said, no, don't worry, we'll figure it out. cutting a long story short, I went there to the office. It's in Masjid al-Nabawi, just one of the offices there. I went downstairs and I asked the guy, I said, I heard that you guys are no longer going to give us refunds, nor are you going to give us the service we had paid for. So he said that no, that's not the case. Rather, the company, they want to reimburse everybody. However, there's a long procedure to it. It has to go through certain ministries and it has to go through certain companies, etc. So he said not to say that we're going to take everybody's money and go away. So from this, something I remembered is that we should always verify from the source. Imagine I was already thinking that, oh, these people have taken so many millions of dollars or reals, and you know what, they can get sued, and we should ask this one and we could ask that one and we could complain about them, etc. Then after going to verify, complain about what? They themselves are telling you that we're in the process of doing it. So it's important to verify. And he said the brother who must have come and got the news and gave you guys the news, maybe he misunderstood, or he maybe just misunderstood and he never know what we meant. So not only when it comes to these small things or monetary things, even other things, someone says that this person said this, you could be talking along the same lines, but they never use those specific words. Here he said that it's not to say we're not going to give you. No, we're in the process of doing it. It may be delayed. So it's important to verify. Somebody says, this person said this or they said that. Verify it from their mouth. Sometimes they bring a video to say, look, he said that. Look at the context it was said in. Don't listen to one or two or three words or one sentence. Look at the context and you can get a bigger picture. That's why Allah says, إِن جَاءَكُمْ فَاسِقٌ بِنَبَإٍ فَتَبَيَّنُوا. You must verify. So I found that very interesting. And yes, the ayah has always been there. We all know it. But it's also interesting when you see it in your day-to-day lives. For me, I was already jumping the gun, so to say, and thinking of how can these people take everybody's money, and they can be sued, and you can open a court case and all sorts of things. It's important to verify, especially before making enemies, before fighting with someone, before arguing with someone, before accusing somebody of doing anything. So those few words, we ask Allah to grant us goodness, beneficial knowledge. Inshallah, we see you guys tomorrow. Bi-idhnillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.